Hi everyone, very good afternoon and welcome back to BYJU'S exam prep. My name is Alpa Sharma and I hope everyone is doing very good today. I hope all of you can hear and see me clearly as well. If everything's good from the tech end, we're going to be proceeding with our session for CAT 2024 and we are aiming at solving some para completion practice questions today with a bit of theory as well because we haven't done that in quite a while. If you can hear and see me clearly, but jaldi se confirm kar do. Good evening, everyone. Rather, good afternoon. Yeah, it's one. So, I had a class with you last week where we did some parajumbles questions. And on the same track, on the same methodology, we'll be aiming at solving some para completion questions as well. We'll be aiming at looking at the kinds of questions that come up. How should we approach them? And we'll apply that technique to solving some questions as well. So that's what the agenda of the session today is going to be. In the next class, I'll be picking up some summary-based questions. And according to the demand that you have, the topics that you want me to take up again, you can comment under my video after the class ends and I will be accordingly picking up the topics that you are uncomfortable with and I'll ensure that we get comfortable with it over the course of time. So let's talk about para completion and let's get our concepts clear here. Let's see what are the kind of questions that come up. What should your approach be? And how can you eliminate incorrect options? How can you zero down to one correct statement? Now, see, para completion comes in various forms. We predominantly define them into three types, okay? But then only one type has been appearing in CAT for the last 3-4 years. We have seen only one type coming up. Yet we'll be discussing all the three types because at all if the pattern changes, we are able to solve the questions correctly. So what is exactly the types that you see coming up in the exams? Para completion is nothing but you will be given one paragraph, okay, and one statement will be omitted from the paragraph. From where is the statement omitted will define the type of para completion question. Now, if one statement is omitted from the very first line that has been omitted, you have the para completion question based on the first line being omitted. That's the first kind of para completion question. The second kind of para completion question is the line can be omitted from anywhere in the middle of the paragraph. It could be the second line, third line, fourth line, fifth line. It could be any of the lines from that entire paragraph given to you. And the third kind of para completion question you might get is the last line being omitted. For every omitted line, you might get multiple options. For example, if the last line is omitted, you may get multiple options. So you can choose out of the 4 options that you have. But the quintessential kind of para completion question we've been getting the last 3-4 years is you have one line already given to you. And you have to figure out where will this one line fit out of the 4 blanks given to you in the paragraph. So the blank could be the first line. Usually it's somewhere in the middle. It could also be the last line. You have to figure out the given line wherever, according to your understanding, where does this line fit according to the blanks given to you. Now, do you think to be able to answer such a question, do you need to have a prior knowledge of para jumbles? We've done that already in the last class. What do you have to say here? Do you need some prior knowledge of para jumbles to be able to solve this kind of para completion question? Where the statement already is given to you that's missing from the paragraph. Where does it fit is what you need to find out. So do you need some prior knowledge about para jumbles? The correct answer is yes. A bit of knowledge of para jumbles will help you answer para completion questions correctly. Now let's see how. Let's understand how. Let's understand a bit of detail and then we'll apply all of that to solving some questions, okay? So the types of questions are the first sentence could be missing and you'll be given 4 options for that. Somewhere in the middle, the statement will be given to you. You'll have to fit it in one of the 4 blanks that are given to you in the paragraph, or the last statement is omitted and 4 options will be given to you. You have to choose one appropriate one, which is going to be the correct last statement of the paragraph. We're going to be focusing on this kind of question today because that's what we've been seeing in the last few years coming up in CAT. Now, there are two techniques I would recommend while you try solving this para completion question, and that is one, to find the discrepancy, and two, to look for logical continuity. Let's understand what these are. So we have a paragraph. Okay, one statement is given to us, and I have a blank here. That's the second one, the third one here, and the fourth one could be the last line as well. All right. Now, all the statements that are given to us. If, for example, first line and then there is a blank and then there's the second line given to us, I have to figure out if the given statement will fit here or not. The first thing to find out is if the first line can be directly associated with the second line or not. That is, if the second line is in a continuity to the first line or not. If the first line and the second line are in a sequence, they continue the idea being discussed in the first line, then there is no discrepancy here. That means the given statement possibly is not going to be a fit between the first and the second line. What is a discrepancy? A discrepancy is first line talks about something, second line talks about something else. There's an oddity in between. And when there's an oddity, probably the given statement could be a fit here. The easiest way to solve a para completion question, the second kind, is to follow these two techniques only. We'll discuss more about that, okay? One second. Okay. So, as I said, discrepancy is the first line is associated to the second line, there is no discrepancy. But you think the first talks about something else, the second talks about something else. There's a discrepancy. Probably the given statement is going to be a fit here. There is no logical continuity here. Let's take an example of logical continuity. First line gives us a definition, and then there is a blank, and the second line says, but. Can I link the first line with the conjunction but? If I can, there is a continuity. But if I cannot, I'll see if this but and the remaining statement can be associated to the given statement to us in the question. Yes, it should. Till this point, we have the information that it will be. Okay, so if you're preparing for it, you should continue doing that. We have a series going on CMAT. We also have a batch. So if you still haven't attended our series on our YouTube channel and our batch, make sure you do that. Hi, classy gamers, good to see you back. Good morning. So we're discussing what are the concepts that we apply to solving a para completion question. And there were two reasons I gave you, two logics I gave you. The first one was to find a discrepancy in the connectivity of two statements. If the two statements don't connect together, probably something has to come in between them. If it is, according to you, the statement given to you in a question that fills up the discrepancy, you found your answer. Second is going to find a logical continuity. The logical continuity is if the first and the second statement given to you do not connect together. Again, we have identified our discrepancy, we can connect them easily. Okay, so these are the two logics we're going to be applying to solving some questions right now. Let's solve a first question. Let's see if we can understand the two concepts discussed with you, and let's see if we can apply it to solving these questions. The theoretical class for para completion has already been done. This is only a revision for you because we are trying to solve some questions today. Okay. And if you are attending the session recorded, if you have any questions in your mind, if you wish me to take any of the other topics, make sure you comment under my video. Let's come up with our first question. Now see, the statement is already given to you, which is this one. Now, this statement could be a fit here, 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 or here. You have to identify where could this be a fit. So glance through the passage and tell me where do you think this statement could fit. 1, 2, 3, or 4, whatever blank you're comfortable with. Good luck. Okay, so Classy Gamer says 3. Others, what's your answer? Give this a try. Think. When we did parajumbles in the last class, I gave you a few rules, a few logics that you could apply to solving a parajumble question correctly. What did I teach you? That one statement will connect to the other. For example, 1 will come before 3 because 1 and 3 are connected. There is a logical continuity here. What makes 1 and 3 connected? It could be a conjunction. It could be the common topic that goes on. It puts the story ahead, brings the story ahead. It adds on more information to it. It could be, the chronological order. We discussed many reasons, many rules that we could follow to find a parajumble statement correctly. And making a mandatory pair, like 1 will come with 3. I have a statement. All I need to do is I have to find a mandatory pair, a counterpart to it. Which statement will this come with? Is what we need to find out here. Okay. Let's first check out statement number 1 and let's see if this statement connects with this or if there is a discrepancy here. So the wedding season is upon us, and after 2 years of COVID chaos, that some nuptials sealed back. You may think the temptation would be to go all out. What does the line mean? It means that, because during the COVID, people weren't allowed to have grand weddings, and now that COVID is over, and now that the wedding season is back, everybody would probably want to have a grand wedding. Okay. And then we have but. People might want to have a grand wedding, but instead of expanding the guest list, instead of having a grand wedding, many couples are opting to have an entirely secret ceremony. That means this statement actually continues the idea mentioned here, connected with a but. There is no discrepancy here. The first line says people might want to have a grand wedding after COVID and lockdowns eased out, but that's not the case. They are actually opting for secretive ceremonies. There is no discrepancy. The story goes exactly in the way it is supposed to be. There is a conjunction but, and then there are two opposing ideas connected. Sounds perfect to us. So the first statement is eliminated. The first blank is eliminated. Probably we don't need an additional statement here. What does the first statement say? Easing the anxiety and pressure of having a big day is a part of the appeal for many couples who marry in secret. Let's understand what the statement says. The statement says that having a relaxed wedding, having an eased out wedding without a lot of pressure, putting on your own pocket and your physical pressure as well, that ease is what appeals to a lot of couples who actually decide to marry in secret. So if one day I decide I'm going to marry somebody secretly, probably the ease that I have of having a low-key wedding is what appeals to me, is what the statement says. And we have already eliminated the first blank. Okay, let's continue. And let's see if the second one is where there's a discrepancy. So the second line says that people tend to choose a secretive ceremony because and the reason isn't mentioned, and they have decided not to have a massive, a luxurious wedding. With COVID case numbers remaining high and the cost of living crisis, so there are two reasons why probably they could choose to have a low-key wedding. One, cases are still high, COVID cases are still high. Two, the cost of living crisis has gone up because of COVID. The income has gone down, the expenses have gone up. So the cost of living crisis is still there. That many couples are feeling the pinch. There is a pinch in their pocket, in their physical and mental well-being. It's no wonder that some are less than eager to send out invites. Probably people don't even want others to come to their wedding. There are two reasons mentioned: number of cases going up and cost of crisis. It's justified why they want to have a low-key wedding. Okay, let's see if there's a discrepancy with the next statement. Plus, it can't hurt that in celebrity circles getting married in secret? What can't hurt? What can't hurt? Discrepancy is something that's odd. It doesn't go well. For example, I say 2, 4, 6, 10. You see, this is an oddity here. It's a discrepancy. Technically, the number I should put here should be an 8. This is a discrepancy. This is an oddity. It doesn't go with this statement. It doesn't go with this number. The same technique has to be used here as well. You have to find if this statement goes well with this. Let's see if it can't hurt goes well with this statement. It says it can't hurt that in celebrity circles, getting married in secret is all the rage. Everybody in celebrity is having a low-key wedding. They're marrying secretly. Okay? Easing the anxiety and pressure, which was mentioned here. Okay? That cost of living is going up. Crisis is there. There's anxiety. There is pressure. And they want to ease this out. And they've decided to marry in secret. And marrying in secret will not hurt. This is what it refers to. Marrying in secret and having an inclination towards a low-key wedding will not hurt them because everybody in the celebrity circle also is doing the same. So why not they? So they have decided to marry in secret, and this will not hurt them because even the celebrities are doing that as well. That means we've found our mandatory pair. This statement goes well with this one. Plus, there was a discrepancy here. This statement did not go well with the penultimate sentence. So we have our mandatory pair. This is going to go well with this one. The secret is what we are referring to in both the statements. Classic gamers, did you identify how we found a discrepancy and how these statements did not go well, whereas the given statement went well with this one? Let's try to apply the same statement to the third blank as you chose, and let's eliminate that as well. Okay, let's see if this statement goes well with this one. So it doesn't hurt them to choose a low-key wedding because everybody in the celebrity circle is doing the same. I would definitely say that the secret weddings are becoming more common. It continues more common because people are deciding to marry in secret. Celebrities are deciding to marry in secret. It's becoming common in the next statement. You have two examples in the previous statements and you have a conclusion. It's becoming common. That means this is an eliminated one. There is no discrepancy here. We found a correct answer. I hope that makes sense. I'm going to wait, reduce the size of my picture because I think it's going to block the content. Okay, yeah, here we go. So I hope that makes sense. Yes, we found the correct answer and that's going to be this one. This is where we're going to fit our statement. So the rules that we discussed, that the trick is to find a discrepancy and look for logical continuity, is what we applied to the first question. Are you ready for the second question? Shall we apply it to the second question? Yeah? All right, let's go ahead. Our second question is here. Read the statement, glance through the paragraph, find out discrepancy and then fit in and see if there's a continuity that's created. Good luck. Okay, you think it's one? All right, music. I think this is a very easy question. Any guesses? I'm sure you can do it. Give this a try. Apply the techniques I taught you under the class of parajumbles. It's going to come handy. Let me give you a hint. Now you're going to get this correct for sure. Okay? There's another hint. One that you found out, classy gamers. The second one that I have highlighted, and this one. In under parajumbles class, we understood a few keywords that highlighting those keywords can help us find a mandatory pair. We're here as well trying to find a mandatory pair. Which statement will this given statement in the question go with? When I say this was years in the making, it's a pronoun used for a noun. You have to answer what was years in the making, what was happening over many, many, many years. It gradually happened. It was created over many, many years. But it fast tracked during the pandemic. What fast tracked? What was years in the making? One hint. Two, he explained. Who is he? There has to be a noun mentioned before it. That's the biggest hint. Who is he we're referring to? Is there a person mentioned? Is there a guy mentioned in the paragraph? He is for Karmakar. That means, you're right. So, that means this statement has to come after Karmakar's name only. So, I have eliminated these two outrightly. So, one hint, in fact, one lesson to learn here. When you are given a statement, instead of just jumping onto the paragraph and reading it and identifying a discrepancy, have a look at the question also once. Have a look at the statement also once. The statement will give out a lot of information to you of where it could actually be a fit. So this was years in the making. What was years in the making? What fast tracked during the pandemic? Who was he? He was Karmakar. And he said a renewed interest in ghee. There is a renewed interest in ghee. So if there's a renewed interest in ghee, emblematic of a return to basic movement in India. This movement was years in making. Return to basic. बहुत सालों से चलता आ रहा था. It had been happening for many, many years. But it fast tracked during the pandemic. Everybody said, we'll move back to basic. We'll go to our village. We'll stay there. We'll go to our native town. We'll eat ghee makhan and everything that we get in our hometown. It was moving back to basic. So, the he pronoun used is for Karmakar. This was years in the making is the renewed interest in he and return to basic movement. It fast tracked during the pandemic. Our answer has to be third only. Yes, you got that right, classy gamers. It has to be third. Correct? So let's see if this given statement also goes with the next one. This movement also is a part of an overall trend. So this movement, again, years in the making, fast tracked. And then this movement also continued towards slow food. So thus the popularity of ghee is visible to us. So another lesson to learn, you better do parajumbles thoroughly because it will help you answer para completion questions as well as parajumbles. Even if parajumbles is a teacher type question, is going to be a very, very scoring one. You can easily do it, takes lesser amount of time and is scoring. So you better work on those topics. Now, before I proceed to the next question, did you hit the like button? See, that's a Guru Dakshina that I charge always. If you attend a free class, you'll have to like the session. Thank you if you've done that already. Guru se padhte ho to dekho dakshina deni padti hai. Thank you if you've done that already. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, make sure you do that as well. Let's go to our next question. All right. Good luck. You got confused, classic gamers, in the previous one. You got it right and then you got confused. It's okay. Which is fine. Which is fine. It's just some confusion. With a bit of practice, you'll get through it, I'm sure. Hmm. What do you think should the answer be? Where do you think the given statement would be a fit? Let me give you some hint here. The discovery. Which discovery? Plus, this line talks of archaeological similarities between the peoples of China, Japan, and the Americas. Let me use a highlighter instead. Where do you think could this be a fit? 3. You got that right. You did, for sure. It is a 3. Let's understand how. This is where the given statement would be a fit. So what were the 2 steps we followed? 1, to find any discrepancy. According to the correct answer, 1 and 2 will not have a discrepancy, neither will 4. Okay, so let's first figure that out. And let's see if 3 makes a logical continuity here. The researchers also have uncovered an unexpected genetic link between Native Americans and Japanese people. During the delegation period, another group branched out from the northern coastal and traveled to Japan. It further explains the uncovering made by researchers. That means this statement actually continues the idea given here. There is no discrepancy here. We can eliminate that. So during the deglaciation period, another group branched out from the northern coastal China and traveled to Japan. We were surprised to find that this ancestral source from the northern coastal China to Japan, this ancestral source also contribute to the Japanese gene pool that is introduced here. The source is coastal China. That's the ancestral source mentioned here. And the same Japanese gene pool where they had traveled to. That means there is no discrepancy here as well. This statement continued the idea here. There's a logical continuity here. Without any discrepancy, we will eliminate it. We were surprised to find that this ancestral source also contributed to the Japanese gene pool, especially the indigenous anise, says Lee. They shared similarities. Who shared similarities? The peoples of China, Japan, and Americas. They shared similarities in how they crafted stemmed projectile points. So they is used for the peoples of different countries mentioned. That means, yes, China and Japan mentioned in the statement. Furthermore, we found our correct answer as 3, undoubtedly. Understood? Any questions? We don't even have to go ahead to find out if fourth one is a discrepant one or not. So we'll eliminate that, okay? Let's again move to our next question. Here it is. It is a very easy one. Let's do this together. Most were first time users of a tablet and a digital app. So we're referring to some people who were first time users. Most of these people were first time users. People should already be mentioned before the statement. This is what I can draw out from the given statement. I've given you a big hint. Now go through the paragraph and find for discrepancies. Yes. I'm highlighting a few things to give you a hint. I've highlighted a few things for you. Do you get a hint out of it? Focus on the tense I have highlighted. Try it again, classic gamers. Focus on the tenses I've highlighted. What I'm trying to tell you here is that when I write a paragraph, I'm going to be consistent with the tenses. For example, when I talk about something present, I'll talk about the present usually together. When I talk about past, I'll talk about the past usually together. If there are three statements of present, there wouldn't be an oddity of a past sentence coming in between. I'll repeat, if there are three statements of present together, uske beech mein you wouldn't just put an oddly written past statement. Think again. I'm sure you can do it. Aage Badhiye's USP lies in the ethnographic research. Customizations based on learning directly from the potential users were crucial to making this. So now you've made this for both literate and non-literate audience. The user interface caters to present. What does it do presently? It caters to a Hindi speaking audience. This entire set of statements tells us what this app is about. Aage Badhiye is about. What does it do? It caters to both literate and non-literate people. It caters to Hindi-speaking audiences who have minimal to no experience in digital services. Okay. The content and functionality of the app are suitable, present tense, for a wide audience. More information. Kisko suit karega? Literate, illiterate, both. Hindi speaking, who have zero to minimal knowledge of digital services. Its content and functionality are suitable for a variety of audience. More features added. This includes youth preparing for an independent role in life or a student. More features. Who can use it? Who are suitable to use it? Who will be helped by this app? More features of the app. This includes youth preparing for an independent role in life, or any student can also use it. Okay. Household members desirous of improving their family's financial condition can also benefit from it. Another features added back to back. There is no discrepancy here. There is a continuity in the tense as well. You can use it, you can use it, this will help you, this will help somebody else as well. And then we have the past. We piloted Aage Badhiye in early 2021 with over 400 women from rural areas. These women from rural areas were first-time users of a tablet and digital app. Past tense, piloted, were. Who were these users? The women, the 400 women from rural areas. The digital solution generated, past tense, a large amount of interest in the communities of rural areas. The correct answer is going to be a 4. I will explain this once again. We have a continuity of the many features mentioned about Aage Badhiye. Who will be helped? Who can use it? Who is the app targeting? All the features. A student can use it. A youth can use it. You want to manage your finances, you can use it. And then the last 3 lines talk about how did we start off with the app. We piloted in the past the Aage Badhiye in early 2021. We used 400 women from rural areas. These women were first-time users and they generated a large amount of interest in the app, thus spread across many communities as well. So 4 is where this will be a fit. Another lesson to learn, looking at the continuity of tense. There's a style of writing an author follows. Style of writing is never a discrepant one with the tenses used. When I'm talking of present, I'll keep talking of present for quite some time. When I'm talking of past, all the statements of past will usually be associated together. I will not jump from one to the other and confuse the reader. So, continuity of tense is another thing we need to focus on. All right. So, I think you have some clarity on how to approach para completion based questions. If you are watching this recorded or if you're watching this live after the video ends, make sure you comment under the video with any questions that you have, with any topics that you want me to take up, or with a little thank you note if you think you were benefited from the session. Make sure you do not leave the session without hitting the like button as well. We've launched a new batch for CMAT 2024. If you still haven't enrolled yourself for this program, make sure you do that right away. I'll be taking a few classes there as well along with other teachers. Comes for a very, very nominal cost. Do that right now and do not be late. Our workshop for CAT 2024, a free workshop but a very, very interactive one, goes live on 17th of March. If you are somebody who's targeting CAT 2024, make sure you attend this session live and you get your doubts clarified right away. Our scholarship test for CAT 2024 happens on 24th of March, 11 a.m. You have thousands of scholarship to win through this. Still haven't enrolled yourself for any of our programs? Make sure you sit for the scholarship test and win thousands of it. Our CMAT specialized course has many live lectures, many engaging videos, many mocks, and many topic-wise tests. Make the most of it. Register yourself into our program right now. Any questions, any doubts regarding any of our programs, regarding your career option, regarding CAT, we have a free one-to-one counseling session happening for you. How can you access it? by clicking the link under my video in the description box. You can find out the link saying one-to-one counseling session. Click on it, fill out your basic details, and one member from my expert team of counselors will give you a call and speak to you about the doubts that you have. Do that right now and make sure you find us on our social media handles: Instagram, Facebook, Telegram, and our app on Google Play. That's going to be all for today, everybody. Have a very, very good day. God bless you.